What's going on, YouTube? We're back at it for another Bag from Blood deck build video. Now, I had a couple of people down in the comments on the previous video asking about that meme build. Now, essentially I was going to go for one that was more focused towards the weapon side of things, but essentially it turned into something that was not only pretty much just taking out glass cannon and maximizing the health as much as possible, pretty much almost the same deck, but I noticed more than a few of the melee cards ended up giving more health, and it just wouldn't be sufficient inside of one of those AR builds. But what we've got here is the meme melee maximum health that we could possibly get with this, at the same time making it quite viable, which I thought it wasn't going to be. A little bit of testing went into it, but finally got it down packed and had a ton of fun with this one. It's a very enjoyable deck to use, and it's not one that I'd say go into Act 1 with. This is one that would be better for Act 2 or Act 3 if you have to go, or if you want to use this in Act 1. Be better if you had a pretty solid team with you, considering we're going to need to get into some of those cards or deep into the deck by the time it really starts to shine. So you want to get at least 3 or 4 of those cards at the very beginning in order to really make this deck be as viable as it can be. But you could utilize it in Act 1 if you had that solid team with you. But on that note, we'll get straight into the deck. Obviously, if you'd like to copy and paste it, I'll have it listed down in the description below in order by name. But we're starting off with NUMB right here. Now we're gaining that 15% damage resistance from any of that temporary health that we gain. Big thing about this, always carry pain pills with you. Just going to add that survivability to the build. Now Vanguard right after that, melee kills grant 1 temporary health to you and nearby teammates. Big thing about this, somebody hits the alarm door, possibly birds, anything of that nature. And if you have somewhere you can lock down with 1 doorway, get on either side of that doorway for whatever reason. Right now we can swing through walls with the melee weapons. So from that side of that doorway, we'll be able to chop at that horde, give not only ourselves that temporary health, but our teammates as well. Can be a huge help, and could be one of those moments where we could strategically hit one of those cop cars or possibly birds, get rid of it for something that may be happening later on, and then beef everybody up with that temporary health. Say if some of your teammates have more than enough of that trauma damage, not exactly the best if you're running with random sometimes. This could be one of those things that saves that run for everybody. But right after that, we've got METH Head gaining that 40% melee attack speed, 30% melee stamina efficiency, as well as your melee attacks no longer stick to tough enemies. Not exactly sure what that does, but I assume that it's something to do with special infected when you hit them. Maybe there's a little bit of bounce back. Arguably, every time I use a melee deck, I've never used it without METH Head, so not sure exactly what happens in those moments, but maybe that's something noticeable that you've seen previously, but it's just going to help us out later on. At the same time, we will be disabling the ADS, so we're going to want to utilize a shotgun with this build. Somebody else is using a shotgun, it's not going to be a hindrance, considering with this deck we're going to be using the melee pretty much 99% of the time, or that's how I used it. Just really wanted to focus on that melee weapon. Didn't even really bother with the shotgun all that much unless it was a hawker or a stalker somewhere pretty close, and you've got that stumble damage and you find attack. It's going to be your best bet with defending against something like that when you can't get in that close range and start swinging on them. Now, right after that, we've got Rhythmic Breathing gaining that 40% stamina. That is to cover the cost of the negative 30% stamina. With canned goods, we'll get that 40 additional health, really beefing us up by that point, giving us a whole lot of health with this. We're going to be working on that main permanent health instead of the temporary health with this type of build. One thing to note about the temporary health, so when we take damage with temporary health, we will not be sustaining that trauma damage, so we won't have too much of that trauma resistance with this build, considering that temporary health is going to be helping us out a lot with that. And we'll be gaining that 1 temporary health for every one of the common infected we'll be killing, but at the same time, really beefing up that health that we already got. Now right after that, we've got Battle Lust. Each melee kill is going to give us 2 of those permanent health back, so you really want to efficiently swing on some of those, not take as much damage as possible, but as you're clearing some of those common infected hordes, you're going to be doing quite well. But right after that, we've got Motorcycle Helmet gaining that 15% damage resistance as well as that 10 health. Another reason that I wanted to go with melee was the simple fact that each one of these damage resistance cards also gives us that health. I wanted to really maximize the health that we could possibly get out of all of these cards, and this being one of the best compared to the other 3 that are just out of the straight up health cards. That's going to give us more bang for the buck, and at the same time we're disabling that ADS, but with this melee build, not to worry. Right after that, we've got Slugger gaining another 5 health and 10% melee stamina efficiency, 20% melee attack speed. Big thing about this build, perfect for the Fire Axe. Fire Axe is your best friend. With the Fire Axe, even if you run out of stamina, we've got more than enough melee attack speed and so much damage with that Fire Axe that will still be one-shotting any of those common infected. And even if they're packed together for whatever reason, even without the Mean Drunk card, it seems to still cleave with the Fire Axe. So if there's 3 in front of you, you'll still be able to take all 3 of those out instead of having to single target, like with the Hatchet. Big issue with the Hatchet. Wouldn't grab the Hatchet. If you're going for anything lower tier, if you're playing as Evangelo, Machete's going to be great. If you're playing as Holly, Baseball Bat's going to be great. But at the same time, as it progresses further on in, if you can't find that Fire Axe, and if you can't find the upgrade for any one of those machetes or baseball bats, if you're not hitting that head, you're more than likely not downing them completely. You're going to have to swing a couple of times, could be taking more hits than you'd be gaining health back from some of those common infected kills. So one option might be to go ahead and grab up that spiky bits right after this, straight away, just to get that 20% more melee damage if you haven't found that already upgraded melee weapon. But right after that, we've got Padded Suit, 10% damage resistance, and 5 health, taking a hit to our stamina efficiency, but trust me, not going to be a big worry, especially if you have that Fire Axe. Anytime you find that, or let your teammates know if you're playing with randoms, you're looking for that green or blue. Even the gray one might be doing just as well, but for the gameplay testing that I had, all I had was a green and then a blue Fire Axe. Perfectly viable for us with this build. Right after that, Vitamins, gaining another that 15 health. By the end point with this deck, we'll more than likely have close to 230 or possibly 250, maybe a little bit more if you have that healer with you with the experienced EMT card that gives you an additional 10%. And if you're playing on quick play, for whatever reason, sometimes if you roll in, especially at the midpoint of Act 2 or Act 3 in some of those cases, or even Act 1, if you take over a bot and then survive onto the next safe room area, sometimes for whatever reason there's a glitch where it'll pretty much give you like 26 cards or 17 cards. You'll be able to stack out your entire deck and then be able to add even more health. I haven't been able to test this precisely. I've had it happen more than a few times. Didn't get to work with it on this build specifically, but if you got that moment and you just start piling away at those basic 5 health additionally added on, I mean, you could arguably get to the point where you're at 300 or 300 plus health, which would be insane, especially for this build, and you could take more than a few hits when it comes to some of those special infected and just be phase tanking them. But right after that, we've got Spiky Bits gaining that 20% melee damage. Again, it's more for that moment when we possibly don't have that upgrade when it comes to a machete or a baseball bat. Maybe you've skipped over it, maybe you didn't notice it, maybe you had to rush to that safe room on one of those missions just to save the run, make it onto the next area, hordes from corruption cards, or anything going wrong in one of those moments. You could look over this or possibly just have that horrible RNG where the melee weapon doesn't spawn. This is going to help compensate in one of those moments. But at the same time, while using that melee, we're going to have that 10% damage resistance while we're using that melee weapon, which is just going to help us with that survivability overall and phase taking anything that comes towards us. But right after that, Motorcycle Jacket, gaining a bit more of that damage resistance and 5 more of that health. Now, right after that, Batter Up, 40% melee damage and 5 health. By this point, once you get this card, if you have that Fire Axe, green or blue, quite surprisingly enough, this does become one of those special infected killers. You can start phase taking some of those tall boys, bruisers, crushers even, especially if you're playing as Evangelo or if somebody's played that burn card with Slippery When Wet. If you can just pull out of that quickly, you're going to easily be taking these out, and the amount of damage you'll take from any one of their swings is not going to be enough to even get you close to taking them down or taking you down. Specifically, you won't have too much of the trauma damage in these moments. When you do take more than a few hits from them, you will sustain a little bit of that trauma damage unless you've got some pain pills available for the ready in some of those moments. Say there's like 1 or 2 or possibly even 3 tall boys in some cases. You want to pop those, get in there and start swinging. Just start eating them up. Now at that same note, with the special infected, if you start running out of that stamina, definitely a good idea to kind of back off a little bit, wait for that stamina to get back up, because the damage you'll be dealing without the stamina is not going to be enough for the special infected, will be enough for the common infected, even the armored ones, more than enough. Taking those out pretty cleanly, but you want to still regain a little bit of that stamina when it comes to facing off against the special infected. At least half your stamina bar will be enough to take on one of those tall boys or bruisers, crushers, or anything else that's really special or special infected, higher mutation as well. But right after that, hydration pack, 25 health, just stacking it up. Ammo capacity is not going to be an issue with this build. Like I said before, pretty much 99% of the time I'm going to be using the melee, so when it comes to that shotgun, it's only for those certain instances when we're facing off against a hawk or a spitter, something along those lines, and just trying to get that stumble chance on them with that high damage for something like attack, or if you find that AA-12, just unloading that mag into them and hopefully taking them out, or allowing enough time to take minimal damage from them and let whatever DPS there is on your team take care of that issue. And right after that, durable. Now, the big reason we didn't go for body armor for that additional 10% to trauma resistance was the simple fact that all it did was negative to our ammo capacity, and we wanted to maximize the health with this build, so I went with durable because it's got the 5 health, and that 15% trauma resistance can be beneficial towards the end for us. But that's going to be the melee deck. You're going to have more than enough health with this, and especially if you go into quick play and you get that glitch where it just gives you an insane amount of cards to pick from on that next save room. I mean, you could just stack this thing out with an unbelievable amount of health, but with each one of the cards along the way, even before you get to the point with hydration pack, you're going to have more than enough health with this build from each of the cards as you're going along. And with Battle Lust, and possibly even just finding that fire axe, each time you're clearing through those hordes, you're going to keep maintaining that maximum health, along with getting that damage resistance that is just huge survivability. Couldn't believe how viable this deck was. I thought it was just going to be one of those moments where I went in with randoms and completely ruined their run, but lucky enough, this ended up being a whole lot of fun, extremely viable, and we've got the gameplay to showcase that for you as well. But that being said, that'll be the melee meme deck. If you want to run some on Nightmare as well, if you're looking for somebody to help you run through Nightmare, or looking for other people to play with as well that have solid decks, hit the Discord link down below. I'll have that down in the description. I've got plenty of people over there that could be looking to play with some other people, or if you want to just contact me, run with me on some of those runs, have somebody that knows what they're doing, not just completely rely on randoms in order to try and get some of those SWAT suits. I'm more than happy to help some of you out with that. And if you'd like to see some of this gameplay footage live, obviously hit that link in the description. Follow me over at Twitch. I'm streaming daily. We will be trying out Rainbow Six Extraction tomorrow. Still on the fence about it. Not sure how well it's going to be, but we'll check it out. We'll give it a good try, especially since it's going to be free on Xbox Game Pass. Can't really go wrong with free. Not losing any money on it. And who knows, it might be a slightly enjoyable experience since it's trying to focus on stealth within the game that doesn't seem like one of those games that should have that. But that being said, hope you enjoyed this. Hope this is something that you have fun with as well. And at the same point, let's get straight into that gameplay and have a good one.
I have 2 extra defibs here.
All right, Blood. I see you. Let's go.
Okay. I don't know why he has the toolkit, but
Because we need it.
we have to do the objective first thing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the ropes to come down, and then I'm going to throw my pipe. Ropes are down. Let's go.
Hooking her up. Yeah, that's fishing right there. Hook, line, and sinker.
After this horde, it'll slow down for a second. One of the crates is where it was last time. Over here.
Check it behind the bus. No box at the bus.
Okay, so that means one's on the boat and one's here. There is still 2 defibs below the safe room.
Powerhouse. Well, fuck, I can't take that on, though.
This is
Alright, it's over by us. Grumpy, get that pipe bomb ready once the ropes drop. You guys get near yours too.
Wait, what? Last box is over here on the ferry.
Okay, we're gonna send this one up.
I'm throwing my pipe already. Redo it.
Okay, this one's going up. Get ready on the next one.
Oh.
Breakers en route.
Start working on the objective.
Not grumpy.
So many on me. Alright, they're on the boat now.
Breaker's climbing up. Oh, those are tall boys.
Okay, helicopter here. Waiting on rope. Rope it down.
Hooking it up. Hooking it up. Those.
Oh fuck, I don't have a toolkit.
We'll make
Oh,
do.
for minigun.
I've got
No,
160 copper.
I'm 100% melee, so
I have 150. I can.
Yeah, let's try run.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Here's
Drop the copper.
50.
somebody take the common infected off me.
Oh, nowhere near you, buddy.
100 short. You want to run?
My God.
Yeah,
what-
you gotta. We're just gonna have to come back. Do it the hard way.
There's so many tall boys coming.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
dangerous.
really hard with no explosive build.
I've never done this.
You never got this one?
Okay, it's half health.
Reaper, back up. He might
Then-
jump on top of you.
Oh God.
Go in the tunnel. Don't let him grab you.
Taking care of business. And working overtime. Damn straight. Don't worry, boys. I'll hold the line. What the hell is that? Don't worry, I'm Evangelo. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm not gonna lie, this NPC out here scared the shit out of me.
Did she get a good whack too? On the fire axe?
Oh, no. She just started walking sideways. Looking
Oughta be
weird.
good,
A
too.
little sketch. Okay, I gotta back up real quick. Hold on, back up. Keep them coming. Jaeger Monster, appreciate the follow, my friend. I'm coming in. Swinging hot. Come here. I got no stamina. Keep hitting them. I can take the damage. I've got plenty of health. Got no stamina. I'm gonna keep swinging though. You've got this. Okay, if you guys could not shoot me in the back, that'd be great. Okay,
I got
you're
that.
crouched. Yeah, I was about to say. Hey, look at that NPC. It just walks creepily.
Oh, there you go. We fucking did it without everything.
I held the line quite nicely. This was not meant to be a special infected killer, but I guess the fire axe carries.
Now I gotta remember I need to get hinterlands. That's the only thing I'm missing from Act 2 now.
Yeah. Mom, I'm gonna need some touches to my ouchies and boo-boos. I got the boo-boos. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so all of that ate my shotgun bullet. Crazy.
No, I believe it's only 3 charges, actually. Yeah, it could be more than that.
Really be taking this.
Going in. Nobody shoot me.
There's free intel here you guys forgot.
I'm coming back.
Well, we gotta come back anyways, because the horde.
I can hold the line. Cover my back.
Let's get in this little hallway. I can stumble any reekers that come. And then this
I'm holding the line.
will be for...
This is my gate. Fort Hope, you will be defended.
Well, they're gonna come from the behind you, so they'll go.
I thought you guys were supposed to be protecting me from behind.
There's a lot of places they can come from.
Only one came from behind.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Another beautiful down at Fort Hope. Safe.
If this world has taught me anything, it's take what you need. Hear that?
Is there still a purple stock back there?
Here, take that. I'm good.
No, I picked up the purple stock.
Damn. Is there any stocks up ahead at all?
Ooh.
Well, that was fun.
Your tack had a purple stumble on it. There's another free card here.
Yeah, I just want the gold
replaced it
attachment
for
off of it.
a purple.
Yeah, I want that mag on it.
Go, boy! What are you doing all the way back
I have a
there?
bandage here.
No, there's no weapon attachment crate over here or anything?
No.
Not ideal. Grubby, I got you. Get back.
Something's not right.
Oh, left. Oh, had me scared there for a moment. Now, if there's any type of stock in here, oh my god, I need to go back. Okay. Okay. How do I
Which
do
one do
this?
you want?
I want the golden one, but I gotta go get the weapon.
Okay.
Was there a mag?
They'll both stop.
Nah, it's just both stock, sadly.
It's coming to grab it.
Would have been ideal.
Oh. Still come behind it.
Can I have this gold one here?
Hold on. Hold.
For my Barrett? I can give you a purple one.
Yeah, just do that. Okay. And there we go. Transaction accomplished.